want you, and you really want to. Now you in yourself, cause look at me, look at me. You made me. Hate in your heart, I got you sick, huh? Poppin' looking like a big dub. Everybody digging what you should have been done.
And what up? What's good with y'all? Alright, so what are we getting into today? Alright man, so today I'm about to be going outside and I'm about to be doing something to my C5. You guys know that I've been fighting this idle surge condition that has been annoying the living out of me. And every time we get this car tuned, we've driven it, everything seems fine, it runs so much better, we swapped the throttle body, all kinds of stuff, bruh. To the point where we thought maybe it was ECU. We even drilled a 1/8" hole into the new throttle body to see if maybe we needed more airflow. Everything was good. And then when I get on the freeway, the car starts running like complete shit. And for the longest, I couldn't figure it out. I was getting frustrated with the car and I really, like something really crossed my mind. And I was like, you know what? I had a similar issue like this before. I'm not sure if this is gonna fix it. This is a theory in my mind and it's gonna suck because everybody doesn't have this issue. I don't know if it's gonna fix it. We're gonna see. But I think my issue that is occurring is due to the Vararam cold air intake that I have. And I know there's a lot of people that run this intake, but I think the issue that I'm having is when we're dynoing the car or when we're driving the car on the street, we're driving at low speeds. And what's happening is at freeway speeds, I think, just a theory, I think that at the partial throttle with the big throttle body and shit on there, it is getting pretty much the ram air effect with unmetered air bouncing back into the mass airflow sensor. I know some of y'all might think this is absolutely crazy and whatnot, but I literally think this is a theory. If you think about it, usually a car will see air when the throttle body's open. It sucks air in, and then you have the air meter reading it off of the TPS and all that, and it's monitoring the air that's coming in, et cetera, et cetera. Well, with this setup, air is being rammed into it, so it's thinking it's having more air than what it has, is registering that air, and then the throttle body being partially closed during drivability isn't reflecting what the TPS is saying to the computer, which isn't translating what the mass airflow is saying, and it just makes the car run all funky. Now, again, this is just a theory. I know a lot of C5 dudes love this intake, but me and what I have a LS7, I have a big ported intake manifold, I have a lot of airflow differences compared to what an LS1 would have. A way bigger throttle body, way bigger tubing, and I think I'm not sure, but this is the last thing that I can think of. So today what I want to do is I'm going to be taking my Vararam intake off and I'm about to be swapping on this new intake setup that I think and I'm hoping that this is going to fix it. So let's get this open. Again, y'all got to bear with me. Y'all got to watch this through because I know it's going to sound crazy, but if you know, it makes perfect sense on why it's doing this. I ran my theory by Geith, and Geith said it is a possibility. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna swap the intake. Whoa. All right, so for those that may be new to the channel, this is my FRC C5. This thing has a LS7 swap, pretty much high compression, ported intake manifold, ported heads by Frankenstein, like all the good stuff you'd want to do to a naturally aspirated LS7. Car made 633 horsepower or something like that. But anywho, that's not what we're talking about. Oh, hold on. Y'all see I got all the matching wheels on. But anywho, so let me pop this. Let me just pop this. And then I'm gonna show y'all what intake and everything I'm gonna be running, because this is gonna be a hybrid intake setup that I'm gonna be doing. And I'll explain that to y'all shortly. But let me get this popped. I'm old, sorry. All right, take a looky. So, y'all see, I have the Vararam. Then we got the Big Daddy throttle body, atomic MSD. And then, bam, we we have the mass airflow with the Vararam. So this has a brand new Vararam filter, literally brand spanking new. And as you can see, look through this on the sides right there where the headlights or the fog lights will usually go, there's a vented area that allows air. So what happens is right there in that corner, that air gets pushed into the intake. And I think what's happening is some of that air, the ram air, is getting pushed right into the mass airflow. And this could be due because the mass airflow is a little on the closer side to the filter. Maybe if it was up further, it wouldn't be as much of an issue. But again, it's my theory. See, we also have this all ducted off to where air does just flow directly into it. There y'all go. Those are the boxes. These are the ducts we put on there just to get this thing to really ram air into it. So you got this side that's ramming air right into that. And then you have this side that's also ramming air right into that. So where you're going, air is getting forced into here, goes here, inside, pushes past the filter, and hits the MAF. So what I could do, honestly, is put this thing back on map only and get rid of the mass airflow altogether. But cars run a lot better when the mass airflow is working properly. So I want to keep my mass airflow sensor. That way, if I ever go in elevation or anything like that, the car's making the correct adjustments. Map is good, but it just doesn't correct as well as having a mass airflow sensor. So that's why I purposely put the mass airflow sensor back on here. But anywho, let me show you the intake we're gonna be doing, because regardless, we're gonna have to try this. So let me grab the intake. This will make sense soon. All right, so for the cold air intake, I decided to go with, I got the Corsa Performance intake. To me, it is probably like the biggest intake you can get for these. Like, I think it has the biggest opening, and it's beautiful because it's carbon fiber. It's a full carbon fiber intake. Get all this packaging out. Full carbon fiber intake, and the thing you will notice is that this intake is only designed for the C6 Corvette. Let's open for y'all. All right, here you go. So yeah, this intake is designed for the C6 Corvette, but I'm gonna make it work on here. Hopefully, I'm gonna make it work at least. And the reason why I went with this intake, obviously, it looks good. It's carbon fiber. It has a humongous opening, which I wanna make sure I'm getting enough airflow for the LS7, because even with my Vararam intake, we were seeing the KPA drop a little bit. So instead of it being 100% KPA, I think we went down to like 96, 97, which indicates a restriction of flow. So yeah, hopefully this gets rid of that. Also, as you can see, the mass airflow is down there, close to the filter, whereas on here, it actually moves it up. And since I have a LS7 with LS3, LS7 style mass airflow sensor and everything, it will bolt directly up. So that's also why I opted to do this. If you have a C5, you would have to convert all this over to LS3 style with a cartridge. So yeah, it's a little, it's not direct plug and play for a C5 with an LS1, but I'm going to see if I can make this work. This is an expensive gamble. This intake was like, what, 800 bucks after shipping? Like a little over $800 or something like that. So I'm hoping it fits. If it don't fit, I'm gonna be hella mad, because I'm gonna have to try to sell this thing, or maybe I'll just send it back and order it through Summit. But yeah, I'm gonna take this Vararam apart, and we're gonna see. I already have the harness adapter and everything I need to extend it. You can see right here that we're currently running the air intake temp sensor off of the original C5 setup, but if I wanted to, we have the pigtail right there to where we can just plug it in and then have everything off of the cartridge style that's from the LS3. So yeah, let me get this all undone. I'm gonna pull this out, and then we'll be right back. But let me go grab some tools and get this shit done. I was gonna wait for Josh, but I figured, you know what, I need to just do this shit myself. Why not? I ain't got nothing else to do. It's Sunday and I want to get it done, because I haven't really been driving this car because it drives like shit. So hopefully this fixes it, and then I can fall in love with the car again. All right, just rip the Vararam out. There you go. All right, I'm about to get this shit back in. Let's get this course on, hopefully, and see how this thing runs. Turn my music back on. All right, so we got a little fucking dilemma. So I went to put the mass airflow sensor back in, and guess what happened? See this? These bolts are flush on there. Wasn't over tightened or nothing, and shit just broke off. It literally just snapped off, and I was holding it. So it looks like this thing's just epoxied on here. So yeah, I'm gonna get some Toyota RTV or something, and I'm gonna seal this back up with something better. That way I know it's not gonna leak, and it's gonna be hella strong. So yeah, we gotta get this thing back on here now. So yeah, I need to get some black Toyota RTV and get this thing on here. That is so annoying. That is so annoying. You would think that with this thing being so expensive, they would just make it to where it just threads right in there, but. All right, so instead of waiting until tomorrow for my Amazon delivery, I decided to go to O'Reilly's and grab a couple things that I might be able to use to try to fix it. So I went and got a little grinding wheel, that way I can clean up this surface area right here. Turns out this is metal, so I'm gonna get this all the way flattened back out. I'm gonna use this to scuff the carbon fiber up a little bit, use this to seal it, and then right here, I went and grabbed some of these. These are just little grommets. Usually you would have the grommet that's on the intake that goes back to the EGR vent tube, but I don't have the vent tube hooked up to this. It's kind of just vent to atmosphere from the tank. So I should be able to use this. I'm hoping it's the same size. And I can push this in there because the other one just has a hole in it. And I would like to be able to plug that, because if not, you get unmetered air, and yeah. So I'm gonna try to get this in there. Hopefully this works. That way it'll just be a quick, easy plug. But already got all the other stuff I needed for on order from Amazon. But I'm gonna just do this. I needed the other kit anyway. I got like a full kit to where I can start grinding and cleaning up surfaces, because I am gonna start doing some more work at the house. Just little stuff here and there. So I might as well gather more tools and stuff that I need. But let me see if this plug is gonna fit. I think it's gonna fit. It should. Yeah, I think it's gonna fit. That should fit in there. We'll try it in a second. Let me get this all cleaned up. I'm back with y'all. Balls on your lower back. What? You told my auntie to put balls on your lower back?
No, I said I'm not gonna do anything involved with my lower back tomorrow.
I heard you say you're gonna put balls on your lower back.
Okay. Michael sent me what do you call it? A reel on Instagram about those oysters.
The stuffed oysters.
And I was like, you know that's your family, right?
I didn't even know.
That's for sale.
Oh, it's my cousin.
Yeah.
What? My cousin?
It's your family, because Bo went out there last week to pick up some oysters.
Oh yeah, I gotta tell her so I need some of those. My cousin got these famous oysters on TikTok, huh?
Bo said you can get 2 of them.
Yeah, I want some.
He said, yeah, I want some.
I wish I had a sanding wheel. This is working, but it ain't working like I want it to work. I want to be able to just. All right, so we got the carbon a little scuffed up, and we got our little flange thing scuffed up. I didn't want to take too much of it off. Just want to kind of get it scuffed and majority of it off, because I don't want to create any weird flat spots in the actual metal. I can actually probably bring this down a little bit because I can feel it. But yeah, almost there. Just literally this little portion right there is all I need to take down. The rest of it feels flat. All right, there we go. That feels better. Yep, now everything just feels scuffed. All right, let's get this cleaned off. Get this shit stuck back on here. Bam! See that? We in there like swimwear. I feel like I'm about to be giving y'all too much free game, because I don't really see anybody else doing this on the C5s. I'm pretty sure people are gonna start doing it, but if you need to know which one of these you need, it is gonna be the Dorman 90302. Right there for y'all. Hopefully I can focus on that. That's gonna be the one you need to plug this hole up if you're trying to do this on a C5. giving up game right now. I'm pretty much gonna follow the scuff line right here on the carbon fiber. I left the bolts partially in, that way if any silicone gets in there, I can just unbolt it and then it'll kind of just clean it out for us. All right, there it is. Should be sealed up just perfectly fine. Cleaned up the RTV on the edges. So now we just gotta wait and let it dry. I'm gonna tape it down. That way this has pressure on it. So I'm gonna just put some tape all the way around it. Make sure this thing's just as much as possible. And we wait a couple hours, let it dry. All right, what's good? I wanna say about a day has went by. It is not the next day, but the following day. And our parts have arrived. So we're about to get ready to get this on. I needed this coupler. Not sure if I'm gonna have to cut this or not, but mass airflow sensor's all in. Everything's all dry, solid, no wiggle, no nothing. Make sure your mass airflow sensor is pointing in the right direction, which it is. You can see that little arrow goes whoop. So yeah, let's get this thing on. Hopefully it fits, and yeah, let's try it. Whew, all right, that was a bit more work than I expected it to be, but it is in there. Had to trim some couplers, you can see, trim it, do a little fadangling, but I got it in there. Only problem I think I am going to have occur is my hood vent protrudes downward, and I think that front row right there touches the intake, barely. So what I'm gonna probably end up doing is I need to trim this flat as possible on both sides, or just get a cow hood. Kind of wanted to get a cow hood anyway, so I might get one of those ordered up. But other than that, let me connect all this shit up, get it started, make sure everything is good, and then we'll continue. All right, car's been sitting here just warming up, idling perfectly fine, revs perfectly fine. Hood actually closes. That's fully latched. It looks like barely. Just needs to trim a little bit right here if y'all can see that. Barely touches it. Not fucking bad. For everybody to say,
It won't work. It won't work. The C6 is designed for the C6 for a reason. There's a reason I didn't make it for the C6 and I make it for the C5.
well, guess fucking what? It works. Living proof. Looks good in there also. All right, so I'm driving a C5 right now, and I must say that right now the car does feel hella smoother. Car feels like it's driving smoother for sure. Sputter now. Before, when I would clutch in, the car would want to die. It drops right down to 1200 RPM and just hangs there right now. So the ram air effect was affecting this shit. There's zero sputter now. Before it would be sputtering, the idle would be surging up and down. Nothing. Look at this. Purring. Nothing. That is crazy. I know. Sorry, I got candy in my mouth. I know a lot of my C5 dudes swear by the Vararam intake. They love it, which is a good intake probably for that combination, but I think for LS3, probably LS7, something where you're running a big throttle body and you're still using the factory operating system, I think that intake is not a good setup for a bigger motor. Now if you had like a maybe even like a fast 92 setup and throttle body, you might be okay, but from what I just did, bro, problem gone. So the ram air effect was definitely giving a dirty signal to the mass airflow. With the throttle body being partially closed at cruising, air was coming through the ram air effect, hitting the mass airflow and giving it a whole different signal. Bruh, the car's driving hella smooth right now. Literally. Before, if I would clutch in, the car would die. Watch this. I'm gonna go 70, then clutch in. Perfectly fine. Look, clutched in, perfectly fine. Let's go to 5th gear. Before in 5th gear, it'll be hella bucky. Perfect. I can't believe that was the problem, bro. That is crazy to me. I've been chasing this issue for I don't know how long, and now it's gone. Fucking intake. All right, just pulled up the Jankies real quick. Again, been driving this thing all day, and it literally runs perfect now. 0 issues. Who would have fucking thought? I was like, there's no way. But yeah, it works.
I like telling people that.
Yeah, everybody tells me it wouldn't work. Car is fixed now, so tomorrow we get on the dyno.
Again.
Again and again and again.
Fucking 90th dyno run video this year.
Well, now we got to redo the whole map. It's like whatever we're trying to compensate for ain't there, so rather just start all from scratch and get it. So now what we're about to do is we're about to just trim these right here, trim these off, get this back, and we kind of need to put like a little hump here because you can see right there it does touch the intake a little bit. Already messing up my carbon. Look at this nigga with them precision cuts.
It just kind of doesn't look as nice as I'd like it.
No touchy.
Since we're here, might as well clean it up.
No touchy though. Everything's clear. All right, what's good, my peeps? Just getting back to the hut. Again, C5 running absolutely amazing now. So tomorrow we're gonna be getting this thing on the dyno just to clean up the tool. And that's pretty much it. This car is finally fucking done. Finally done. Got some stuff that Josh needs to check over and make sure, cause we just gonna note that. Got some stuff that Josh needs to check on this. But other than that, it is running a lot better now. So I think the last thing I want to do, I think I want to swap these wheels back off and get the deep dishes back on here. Just get the street wheels back on, the 19s all the way around. These do need some tires, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should order some tires first.
I've been going too crazy, these niggas too shady. Speed limit 65, I'm about to do 80. Fucking niggas say